Welcome to the group chat with Tara Thomas and Amanda Goodman of Faith and Four-Letter Words.
Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to winter if you've been outside. Yeah, it was awful. Any of you doing spring sports know that. I mean, and here's what's so sad. You and I both know this. Why do I not come better prepared? Because I go in my head, I leave thinking, yeah, it'll be chilly, but I'm okay with a blanket, right? And then you get there and then you realize you need like 4 blankets.
Do you know what? Yeah.
Hand warmers.
It has been in my car since the beginning of soccer season because there has not been a game. I think there's been one game where I have not worn my winter coat for soccer season. Spring soccer. I have everything in my back. We have umbrellas. We have winter coats. I have hats. I have gloves. I have
smart.
So I just keep it there. It's all year.
Yeah, it's so sad. So if you are outside at any of these spring sports, then you know that yesterday it was in the 50s, but it felt like it was in the 30s. And so it was just awful being outside. And then, of course, once the wind dies down on Monday night or Tuesday night when I was out until the cows came home with lightning everywhere in Iowa City, it had been warm enough initially that we were like, oh, this might be a nice night. Well, then I was being swarmed with mosquitoes and gnats.
And they love your blood.
Yeah, because I'm the universal donor. So I was laughing to myself like,
so you're is that what it is?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that must be it is. Okay, so that explains it why I get eaten up too. So we're the same blood type too?
That is funny. So it was not so the turn in the temperature for the better actually only brought out the bugs, the mosquitoes. Yeah, so I was like, and then you know how you
bring in the wind.
You think, oh, my stretch pants will keep me from, and then they bite through the pants.
I got eaten last night. Like I went to pick up Lucci from soccer practice, and I was already ready for bed. I was wearing my pajama pants, and because I don't care. And I came in the house, and I was like, because it bit the back of my leg.
Oh my gosh, they get you every time.
And I'm like, okay, we're either gonna have the deep freeze or we're gonna have mosquitoes. We're not gonna have both.
So I want to know, I think we talked about this the other day. What are your current remedies? Are we still doing Skin So Soft?
Yeah.
Okay. I need to see if I can order some of that.
You can get some of that. You can get some
and then they have the bug soother spray that Hy-Vee used to sell, I think.
That stuff is really good.
Okay.
Back in the day when we would have softball games, remember they were called punks. And they look like incense sticks. And apparently every time I say punks, people look at me.
Be an East Coast
it brand. Is an East Coast. It was just, we had punks. And so you would hold, you would just sit there in the game and you would hold them, or people would hang them out of the mouth. I'm like, yeah, I got to find them because every time I say it out here, everyone looks at me. They're like,
yeah, that I have not heard of punks. So if you know any remedies. Now, one thing my husband did last year that was quite effective, he took those 4 plants according to ChatGPT, I think it was, and they are mosquito repellent plants, and you can get those at all your local nurseries. And basically in a potted plant, he had these 4 kinds of plants that are supposed to ward off mosquitoes. And when we put those on our porch table between our 2 chairs, it actually did keep the bugs away. So that was like a natural way to cut down on the gnats.
Yeah, they're mosquito incense sticks.
Okay.
They're on Amazon. You can get 240 of them for $19.99. I'm telling you, they look like incense sticks, and we would hold them, and they have a really good smell. So they're not so you have to hold them up by your no, you can just hold it here, and it kind of makes a little
halo.
But I mean, I can't believe that no one, and this is what they look like.
That's
they're
actually
just
sounds like worth trying. Now, have you seen those? Back in the day, it was a big Midwest thing, the bug zappers. So you would hear the sound of the zappers. Oh,
that's East Coast too. Because everyone had a pool. Everyone with their pool had it, and so you would hear the execution. I thought that was a little,
Now, hopefully the bats won't hit it.
Well, I'm fine with it.
If you have your pool out,
I'm fine. And that's the thing. This weekend now, Memorial Day is supposed to get to 84.
Good,
because this is the week that we decided to open the pool. So right now, my friend had sent me a meme of somebody jumping into a pool, and it was like a block of ice, and I'm like, that's where we are, and I can't stand it. But I do want to ask you a question. If you are dealing with frequent trips to the bathroom, or always having to go, or the word leakage, I hate that word. I hate when people use the word leakage. Or if you've had a 10-pound baby like I have, and you have to stop while walking because when you're going to sneeze and you have to cross your legs, then this is for you. At Urology Center of Iowa, they specialize in women's urology care. So you want to give them a call and give them a look. URO.com. URO.com. It's actually, I thought it was something that I had to live with. I had to deal with. It is not. They specialize in care specifically for women, which is very odd, which is very not odd, but like odd in a good way, because everything is really formulated for men when we go to the doctor's office, right? Like, so digestive issues are very different for women than they are for men. So check out URO.com. They have they help with conditions like overactive bladder, incontinence, and prolapse with advanced options, including the Emsella chair and minimally invasive procedures. So you go in, can you imagine?
Isn't that wonderful how time and technology have marched on so that we can do things that our grandmothers didn't have an option?
I mean, I made fun of my mom. This is what happens. I used to make fun of my mom because she would hold on to something when she would sneeze and she would like cry. I'm like, what are you doing? And then I had the 10-pound baby. And now I realize why everyone stops while they're.
It is sad how we all become our mothers. We also wanted to tell you, speaking of my husband doing the plants, all of our pots are thriving right now in the front yard. Now the wind and rain of this week hopefully has not battered your plants down too much, but still a lot of time to get out there to all the greenhouses, including Canoyer, which is a place in Iowa that has so many options to make your home bloom this spring at their garden center and Glass House Market. Fresh, vibrant plants. You can get some expert advice from them. And it's really everything you need to bring your porch or patio or all those containers that we like to sit out to life. So explore. You can do annuals there, signature hanging baskets, which we love, perennials, the house plants, veggies, herbs, and more. And so they would love to have you stop by Canoyer Garden Center and Glass House Market in Grimes or Ankeny. So 2 locations for you in Iowa.
And the good really part, I mean, I just read something by Iowa Chill. Iowa Chill is one of my favorite sites.
Yes.
And Iowa Chill just said that they want people to stop moving to Waukee. They've hit capacity. But it is Waukee, Iowa is listed as the fastest growing area in the entire Midwest. So if you think about it, but you go down to West Des Moines, which is interesting, right? It's like, it's all of these suburbs like that were born out of Des Moines, right? It is amazing. There is so much to do. There's like, and when I say to do, I'm talking about food. There's a lot of places to eat because we've got nothing where we are. We've got nothing. And I know like, and somebody the other day had said to me, they're like, stop. You talk a lot about the local stuff, Amanda. Like, I'm watching from Texas. And I said, I'm so sorry. So we will make sure that when we talk about somewhere local, we will talk about in our driveway. We will also make sure if we list the city, we will say this is in Iowa. So we are more inclusive to the people who are watching from outside our demo.
Yeah. So if you're in the Quad City area, you know how much that TBK sports facility has transformed that whole area that used to be farm ground.
Well, you know why?
Isn't it amazing?
It was a grandfather who ran the bank, right? And his grandchildren were in love with soccer and there was nowhere to play soccer. So he said, okay, yeah, I'll build you some. And now there's 2 facilities. So they have TBK and then they've expanded. So across the street as well, they have another indoor facility for, I think that one is mainly used for soccer, while the other one is baseball, softball, beach volleyball, soccer, all of the things. And they have the arcade and they have
a lot.
The bar and the bowling alley.
Yeah. And then all the restaurants, are springing up around there because of it.
Gold mine. Hotels.
It was a smart investment on his part. And of course, for those of you who have to travel there on a regular basis, then you know that it's not fun when, even though it's a great central location, it's like the drive home from TBK.
I hate that drive.
It's not fun.
When I see in a game on a schedule that we're in Bettendorf, I make the same reaction every time. Oh my gosh, because it's just a long drive. You're always driving then through the Iowa City construction. There's always some kind of construction going on in Iowa City. But I was laughing last night. And if there's any people out here who can relate. So I am an early to bed. So if you text me past 8 o'clock, I'm responding to you at 5 a.m. Like that's me, right? And Lucci, I was in like they were outside still playing, and I mean I was in bed last night very early, and Lucci's like, "You're so boring."
Oh my gosh.
And I said, "Yes, I am." And I was like, "Yes, I am." She was like, "No, like you're so like other moms like stay up like late." And I said, "Ma'am, let me tell you something. What I did in my teens and my 20s is why you will always have an early curfew. It's also why I will always track your booty on Life 360. That is all because of what I was doing in my teens and my 20s. So I am very boring now. But there was a time mommy wreaked some havoc out there on them streets. So it was very funny when they're like, I
boring. Well,
I wanted to like square up with her. Like,
and let's be clear too, that we're the older moms. So there are people that, had their kids in like the early 20s. So right now they probably are out still running around because they're like 31 with a 10-year-old.
Well, they probably didn't get it out of their system. So when everyone was getting married and having children young, I was working and you were working. We were in our 20s building our career, and then we were going to find those dance clubs.
Oh my gosh. I think back now, I mean, we talk about this. If you were a Gen Xer and you were in your 20s during those years of the Gen X generation, we had the crop tops. Ugh. And we were out at these clubs, and this was before anyone could capture every jot and tittle on their cell phones. So there were no phone images that were gonna like get turned into your management team the following Monday.
I wish, because you couldn't take your camera, like it was a special occasion.
We had more of those photos because we looked better than we realized.
Well, because my kids probably wouldn't believe it. Like I tell them stories and they're like, "Yeah, right," and I'm like, "Let me tell you." But like it was a special occasion. It was either for someone's birthday, we would take the camera out, and it was either you probably have the disposable camera, and so you couldn't put it in your back pocket because the jeans were low rise and they were tight.
Yeah,
they were tight around them hips.
And we just so much was undocumented, unfortunately.
Did you have like? Because I had the outfit. Like I had the standard outfit from. I mean, when I was in college, it was the crop top and then the overalls, because that was in with the flannel tied around the waist.
Yes, I wore overalls as well.
Yeah. And then you probably look really good in them because you're such a long torso.
Well, I did not. The problem that those of you with long torsos will understand is the overalls are kind of dangerous because you get the
camel toe.
You have a lot of
it's the crutch you bear.
You stand up straight and you're like, oh, you're.
I mean. That's the only advantage short people have and people with small torsos have. Like we didn't get that. But I was laughing because I was thinking I was so basic, like not like basic B. Right, but I mean like I was so basic in my 20s. I would wear the standard uniform was like the white wife beater that would come right to it would have to like expose
wife beater.
It would have to expose the belly button ring and then the 2 tattoos that were peeking. And then I had like the low rise jeans and then some stilettos to add that height.
Oh my gosh.
I would wear some pointy toe heels.
Same. I wore the heels, which is insane because then I was like 6'1". Yeah, 6'4". That's true. If they were, because I mean, you could go back in the day and we all did this to those outlet stores. Remember when it would be like a Steve Madden outlet store that they like, if we went to Vegas or something and you could get like the buy 3, get 1 free. And then I'd be like stuffing these big wedge heels in my suitcase. I mean, and now it's like, I can't do the heels like that anymore because, well, you wore some high heels for your daughter's graduation.
I do like
those were pretty.
Thank you. I do like a good heel. I like a pointy toe heel because I feel like it adds, you just feel a little classier. Yeah, like when you put the heels on, it's a power move. Like I'm short, like I'm only 5'6". So you feel like kind of, I think that's why short men, and I'm not being disrespectful, but I think this is why short men have I think because they feel so insecure, especially if they're next to like a taller woman. I can imagine that would happen, I mean, that's a whole nother day. We can talk about that. But, so I was thinking about those I was thinking about when my kids were like, you're boring. And I'm like,
that is so funny.
There was a time
that's kids.
Like go tell next time when you see your grandfather, tell him that mommy was boring. He's got a whole nother story. He's gonna my dad's gonna be like, I wish she was boring. I remember we would close down the bars in Philadelphia And it was like I was 21 years old, 22, around that age. And I was supposed to meet my parents the next day. I would always meet them for church, or, you know, if like they would get there early and then I would drive my own car, or I'd meet with them to go for breakfast. And then we would go to Atlantic City. Yeah. Well, we went to Atlantic City. The bars closed at 2:00. Then we drove across the bridge to Atlantic City, and then everything there is open 24 hours. So I remember coming out of the bar and it was like 9 a.m. and I was like, you know, dig this. I called my dad on my Nokia cell phone. I go, I don't think I'm not gonna make church. And he's like, where are you? And I said, well, I'm just leaving Atlantic City. And he's like, oh my gosh, your lifestyle is starting to concern me.
Oh, like it was such a great line. Cassie Eubanks said, this is hilarious. My feet still hurt from my 20s wearing Charlotte Russe pointy toe heels.
Charlotte Russe.
Yeah, I mean, and the crazy thing about all those cheap clothes back then, because the cost of living was so much cheaper than it is today, that, I mean, it wasn't unreasonable to, even in your 20s, as we were low paid, you could still every now and then, you know, splurge on some cheap clothes, because, I mean, the gas was 99 cents a gallon. When I lived in Iowa, it was 99 cents a gallon. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. And milk was 99 cents a gallon.
Yeah, long time
ago. It was like, I mean,
it's not now.
Easy to think of how cheap. And the one thing that is sad is now kids that start out, understandably, at these entry-level salaries, they can't afford much of anything because the rent is so exorbitant or the gas is so high.
And the kids today, they don't have the cheap clothes like Charlotte Russe or Wet Seal. They don't have the generic. Well, even if they had it,
a lot of them don't want it. Yeah.
It's that hard. Like, you know, it's kind of, you know, when my husband would figure out, like we were figuring out what Gia will have to make coming out of college with her current lifestyle that she has been afforded and all the brands that she likes. It's like, you need to have a 6-figure job at 22. Good luck, boo.
Yeah.
But I like just the fact, I love the fact that it was like at 22 years old, I was living like a 22-year-old. I can't imagine for me, and I'm not judging anybody.
We didn't get our nails done. We didn't get lashes done. All the things.
I always got my nails done, and they were like the very long.
Oh, okay. I never got my nails done.
I always was getting my nails done, but I just can't imagine like being at home and being married or having a family at that age, knowing who I was. I mean, I was concerned. I was going to Midnight Rodeo. I was enjoying the dime beers. I would walk in, point to the DJ. When I pointed, he knew to put on Little Mo Superwoman, because that was my song.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
Oh, I mean,
point at the DJ.
Oh, I did. There was this bar. It was called Dragonfly in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And my dear friend was like the lead bartender at that. And then DJ Smooth, he's still a DJ to this day. I would walk in and I would literally, and he was elevated. I'd be like, and that was me like, I'm here. And he would put on Little Mo Superwoman. And that
is so funny. Well, we had a nightclub in Yakima, Washington, where I lived for 7 years with actually my then boyfriend, now husband. And it was 80s night every Thursday. And what was crazy is because I did the news in the evening, so I worked second shift, so I could go out too, you know, on those Thursday nights. And I ended up doing a schedule then where I was like dayside. So when I switched to like 9 to 6 and I did the 5 and 6, then I could go out because, you know, I didn't have to be at work until like 9 on Friday. And when we would go to 80s night, my favorite song, still one of my favorite songs to dance to, is AC/DC Shook Me All Night Long.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's such a classic. That brings them out to the dance floor every time.
That's a good one.
If you're a rocker chick, I can gravitate between, you know, the rocker and the.
That's because we're Generation X.
And R&B.
That's because we're Generation X. We literally have like the best palette of music.
Yes, we did have a lot of great songs.
I mean, like there's a song too, and I don't know if you remember this, but it's by Candlebox, Far Behind. And as soon as like the guitar hits and you're like, it's such a 90s
little grunge.
It's very like, it's that song. It's like,
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh my God, that song.
So on a more serious pressing note, if you've been following the world of artificial intelligence, then you know now that some of the top CEOs are admittedly coming out with their warnings that the way that the AI, the progressive nature of the AI algorithms is such that within the next 3 to 5 years, they are predicting that there will be the elimination of many current jobs as they exist today. One of which is very interesting is the analysts, the financial analysts. So what they're saying is, if you think of all the companies, you know, your JP Morgans and all of your major financial tech or financial industries, rather, within the financial industry, all the financial giants, right now they are employing, you know, hundreds, thousands of people whose job it is to analyze the markets and to, you know, hedge their bets, so to speak, on all of the ebbs and flows of the stock market. Well, what we now know is that they're saying that these AI generated analysis software elements, that they are doing the work in 3 days that would have taken the smartest, highest skilled analysts months to be able to analyze. And so to that end, they have said that in the next 3 to 5 years, we're going to see the consultants, the analysts, and the advisors going bye-bye in the finance world. So it was interesting. If you've talked to your financial advisor recently, then you probably know that the old us was probably very dependent on guidance from professionals, because we didn't know, in a lot of, you know, we're not sophisticated, a lot of us, when it comes to the stock market and investments. So now, because of chat or any AI platform, now you can just upload all of the trades, all of your financial investments, and you can completely break down through this algorithm all of the things that are going right, wrong, or sideways with your investments. So it's completely changed my approach.
Well, I actually like it. Not that I want anybody to lose their job. Right. However, I have family members do any and all investments for my husband and myself, because we are very private when it comes to all of that stuff. And I don't want anybody in my business.
Sure.
I don't want one person. I don't want anybody in my business. And I think that's how I was. My dad was very much like that too. And so it was kind of like the family was always handling the stuff, because it was like, I don't know. And probably because of the job and people knowing you, I didn't want people like, well, they came by the office today, and because I don't trust people. I think people are running their mouths. I think people at, like, you know, they have too many beers in a garage somewhere, and they're like, well, they brought this amount of money, and I saw because I had a banker do that one time. Well, when I was a young reporter, well, her account was in the negative, and they were all talking about it, like at an event, and I'm like, get out. Ever since then, I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah. So what's really crazy is I would have never, even 5 months ago, been able to grasp now what I feel is like this mile wide, inch deep analysis of so many things. So I have a point by point report that really breaks down that there's a lot of overlap and a lot of unnecessary splitting of the funds in terms of the way that our portfolio is distributed. And so now I can actually, in an educated manner, ask these pointed questions and have the data that I truly would never have been able to extract 5 months ago, because there's no way I could have done it with my naked eye.
No, and I think they can no longer, not saying that people here locally did that. I would never say that. But I mean, like, it's almost, sometimes it's when I don't like being talked down to in a way, like, you don't know this. Like, this is my,
that's how it has been for most people when it comes to medicine.
That's why people get
financial
scammed.
World. I mean, so we're not saying it's going to replace, but if you'd like a second opinion, and if you would like some eye-opening analysis, take any and all of your financial portfolio, pull it up online, screenshot it. You only have to screenshot it. You don't have to print it. You don't have to scan it. You just screenshot it. You can also screenshot all your MyChart results, or whatever your
I love doing
medical entity entails terms of the digital report. And then you can upload it into this AI very easily off your phone, and it will just give you a second opinion. So for me, we've talked about this. I mean, you get your MyChart results, and you may not hear from the provider for 3, 4, 5 days.
Which they have to stop doing that. They have to stop doing that.
Just be able to, screenshot it, just to like have a little bit of peace of mind, because we aren't going to, with our naked eye, we can't digest and understand all of the reports coming out.
No, it is very, very helpful. I'm sorry I was laughing. I was laughing because my friend Stacy Feldick said that song Candlebox smells like Zima and Marble Lights. Have you seen those memes driving around? Like, yes. I'm not saying I want the reels. It's like, I'm not saying I want to get back into bad habits, but I never had all these issues after I got out of a tanning bed. Yes. Like, it was very, very funny.
Now,
but Zima,
have you seen those?
That was my very first alcoholic beverage ever.
Oh my gosh.
With a Jolly Rancher in it.
Have you seen the TikToks where it's very hard to discern real from fake, but there's this trend now where these women, and it is so sad how dating profiles and that whole digital world have really upended a lot of people's trust, because now there are all these documented cases where these married women are finding that their husband has a dating profile on these sites. And so in these TikToks, the woman will say they're surprising their spouse with a birthday surprise.
Yeah,
and then they drive to the house of the mistress. And so then when they pull on the street, they're like, have you ever been on this street? And then the guy will be like,
sweating,
no, or yes, or whatever, and then, well, why are we here? He'll say.
Oh my God, it's like Chris Hansen.
And then she'll go, oh, just letting you know, I want a divorce and I'm dropping you off at so-and-so's house. I mean, so it's so much is curated and so much is staged. It's really hard to know. But because one of them, was served up to me on my For You page, now I keep seeing it. And it's like, it is troubling the number of people who have married, committed relationships where one of the individuals is on a dating website. It's insane, or has their profile out there. Crazy.
There would be a dirt nap involved.
Oh,
like how do you, like, that's a level of
disrespect.
And ego. Like, I am so like that you don't think that you're going to get caught. Like, it is just so. This is what I also want to ask. So we all know that there are sites like Facebook, like social media, no matter where you are, like in the country, and there's groups and people join these groups and stuff. So how do we feel
319, don't date this man?
Well, no, and not just those, but I'm talking about like the mom groups and all this stuff. Like, Here's my thing. Like, I want to know this. I understand that people want questions answered, but the questions by the anonymous or the comments by the anonymous, which I understand. But then it's like, if you write anonymously, I'm like, I don't trust anything you're saying, because you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think anybody, because you could make an anonymous account and then you could just go and just try to ruin lives across with
people do.
And people do. Yes.
And if you are that, we know some of these people locally, if you are that person who hides behind the keyboard, good luck if you ever are somebody like us who has to attach your name and face and stand on whatever you're sharing, because it's a completely different level when you are the one that is sort of in the arena and you're a public personality, right? Because then it's open season on those people. And so, so we've been trolled many, many times, and it's at the hands of people who've never had to share their face or name.
Right.
But then a lot of times we know, because people message us and say, well, just so you know, I know who posted that. I mean, so it's actually kind of funny that people love to out the troll, even though the troll thinks that he or she is still anonymous.
Well, a lot of the things that are posted, you don't understand. There's a lot of text messages behind the scenes where like, we know who wrote that. Like, you're not, it's like, so it was funny because this came up on my memories today. And this was May 20th, 2016. And this guy, he said his real name. And this is what he wrote to me on my former news page. I just want to compliment you on how attractive, he put it in quotation marks, attractive you are as you read the teleprompter, your beautiful bleached hair extensions, the way you seductively flip that fake hair over your left shoulder, your marvelous fake eyelashes, your over-the-top makeup, and the way you try to hide your over-average weight with extra jackets. Please let me know when you go on another extended maternity leave so I can watch the local news on channel 7 again instead of 9 and 2.
Unbelievable.
So I think I responded to him. And I remember, I think I told him, like, I told him that I creeped through his pictures. He was nothing spectacular. And then of course, what happened? The television station told me I could not comment on that because he was a viewer. And I was also told by my boss at the time, well, you do want to That jacket you're wearing.
Yeah, as soon as the comment comes in anonymously, and then we're supposed to be like, oh, just take it in stride. They don't really, mean that. And then it impacted us, because then that just like plants a seed in management's heads. Like, maybe she is letting herself go.
Yes,
they are, not dressing. I mean, unbelievably unfair torment and torture, so to speak, that we went through.
That guy.
Nikki Dirk said, we are thankful for an amazing PC provider, Dr. Jessica Bevers in Waverly, who I get a phone call within minutes of getting my chart notification. That is really nice, because the way that technology is now altering the rhythm of our lives, it's like very hard to beat the test result, because it's like automatically populated on a computer.
Well, I mean, and I appreciate it, but when you're getting test results at a Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock, and I mean, if it wasn't if it wasn't for ChatGPT, that you could kind of quell your fears a bit. So when people were like, you can't use AI, well, it's getting there faster than, like, I shouldn't have to wait until the following Wednesday. And when you're talking about potentially life-altering results, you need someone. I mean, like, it's insane.
It's really hard, because we're not saying that the providers are doing anything wrong. It's just they've had to learn to inherit this, push for instantaneous technological reach and results. And so, I mean, really, it's putting a lot of pressure on the providers, because they probably want to take time to review, process, and then have an informed conversation. And when they're in the midst of seeing all their other patients, and then the results are coming in, I mean, it's not like you're going to like, oh, hold on, I have to go out and call Amanda in the middle of someone else's appointment because her MRI results just dropped in my chart. I mean, it's like albums dropping.
That's where we are now. Yeah. We're living off of my chart. I used to get MySpace notifications. Now I've switched up to my chart. Like, that's how sad it is. I used to love MySpace.
Well, oh my god!
Remember when you would log it?
I was not a MySpace person, because when MySpace became a thing, I was already into my post high school years, because wasn't it in the early 90s?
No. It was because we didn't even have the computers then.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, it was
when was MySpace?
I was in my 20s.
Okay, yeah.
So I remember when I met my husband, Hector was like, you have MySpace. We're on Facebook.
So I was a more serious journalist than in my 20s, because I remember thinking, like, I would not put myself out there on MySpace.
I would.
Television journalist.
I would, and I was a television journalist, and I had MySpace, and I had the Louis Vuitton background, because you could change the background, and when you hit my page, the song would update. Like, I would change it. I mean, that was a big thing. Like,
oh my god,
what song do I want on MySpace? My
that
page
is
right now.
So funny.
Oh, it was the Jam. Are you kidding me? Like, MySpace was just, I just think about back in the day, and like, this is where, like, this generation, they a little soft. They're a little soft. I don't think they could have handled all the stuff that their moms and as the moms and dads we did. Like, I really don't think so, because I mean, I remember when I was the morning show anchor in Amarillo, Texas, I had to be at work because it was me. We had the tape editor, so and then my co-anchor. So my co-anchor, he was actually doing all the editing for the shows. It was like the photog, and then I was doing all the writing for the shows. So we went from 5 a.m. till 7 a.m., 30-minute newscast, and every newscast was different. So we were, I mean, that's a lot. Okay.
Same.
So I had to be at work at midnight.
Yep.
To write the show.
I did 1 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Right.
Was
so
my shift.
Well, I was midnight until 12:30 the next day. Okay. And I would literally, so I would sleep when I get home. I'd go to the gym right after, because I was, very meticulous about that. I was dedicated. Then I would have to take a sleeping pill, because you have to fall asleep in the middle of the day. It's bright sun. Set my for like 6 o'clock, 6 p.m., 7 o'clock. Go meet my friends out at this local place called Hummers for some cheese fries. It was called Hummers. And then we'd go out. And then I'd go out to the bar to Midnight Rodeo, and then from the bar,
go into work.
So
I used to say Oprah Winfrey's show, which I watched religiously for my whole life.
I never did. Couldn't stand her.
Loved Oprah. So I watched her and Phil Donahue from third grade on. I watched Phil and Oprah. And that was like my, evening, my late show, I would say. And then Letterman was my morning show because I would go to bed right after Oprah and then I would get up with Letterman.
So you went to bed around like 3 or 4?
No, probably.
What time was Oprah on?
Oprah was probably on the West Coast at like 4. So I'd probably go to bed at like 5 or 6 is when I try to go to bed. And what's crazy is, and this is so, I don't know if it's good or bad, but because I don't drink coffee and I've never taken a sleeping pill, I've just had to my whole life try to fall asleep naturally. And that's not easy.
No.
So especially the older you get, but the not drinking coffee made it, for those of you who've ever had to work those crazy shifts, it makes it easier to work weird hours because your body isn't anticipating caffeine or needing caffeine to like wake you up. So I could conceivably go to bed at sometimes 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening and I could sleep all the way through, but it just messes you up so much on the weekends because when you go into Friday, we would get off so early. I'd get off at 9 on Friday and then I'd have these grandiose visions of all the things I was going to do. And then by like 3 o'clock, you're dead.
You're well, yeah, because it was weekends were really crazy because then Sundays you didn't have a Sunday because you had like the Sunday scaries for me started on the morning show when I was on the morning show.
Yeah,
but I
you
mean,
can't even enjoy your Sunday because you're anticipating how tired you're going to be and all the crazy. I mean,
and I think anybody who's out there who drinks coffee, who is caffeine, like I'm a Diet Coke girl, not because it keeps me up, because I like the taste of Diet Coke. And like coffee, like it doesn't do anything. Like for me, I'm like,
it would if you didn't drink it on a regular basis. Your body would feel differently because you're so used to that.
I mean, I've done it.
Fix.
Well, no, because all my pregnancies, I never drank caffeine.
Oh, okay.
Never drank caffeine. Like, so it's like when I like the taste of it, I think it's a psychological thing for me. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm going to wake up because I have, now it's just interesting because I'm very well rested. It's a non-negotiable to go to bed early. Like I enjoy going into bed. Like when I'm saying like I'm in bed by 8 o'clock PM and that's late. I mean, that's late for me, unless there's a soccer game. That's late. I love it. And I mean, like the birds are still chirping outside and I'm in bed.
I've been doing better since we started doing this morning show of going to bed a little bit earlier, but I'm a pretty late at night, pretty late person. So I sometimes am up until 11 or 11:30. And then if I'm going to bed really early, it would probably be 10 o'clock would probably be the earliest. Yeah.
The key is this, and I think everybody should try this once. Put the phone away.
Yeah.
Like put the phone away. If you like, I put my phone away at 8 o'clock.
That's good.
I put it away at 8 o'clock. That is the thing. And it's like, it literally, I have to shut because I mean, we could sit there and doom scroll like the whole night and it just keeps your brain awake. So I have started doing that and I have my lemon water on my nightstand and that has worked.
That's good.
So it's like a restful, but it's hard. Like, you know, especially if you have an autoimmune disease, like it's really, really hard for your body to like cooperate.
Especially if you have 4 kids that want to talk to you.
You know, what is it? And I posted a reel the other day.
Do they know not to bother you?
No. I'll be dead and my kids will still ask me, can you make me a snack? Like my oldest, oh my goodness. Like she is in the bedroom. I mean, not the bedroom. She's in the kitchen. It'll be like 11:30 at night. And I'm a very light sleeper. Like I'm a very light sleeper. She's in there slamming the microwaves. We have those cupboards that like, when you close them, they like don't make a sound. Nope. I can hear her. She's slamming everything. And I come out the other day. I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm making bread. It is 11:45, ma'am. You do not need bread. Like you don't need sourdough. You don't need it. What are we doing? Like there is no common courtesy.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
And then like my son and it's literally true. They joke around, but it's literally true. It is my kid in my house. They want to have in-depth bonding conversations when I'm sleeping. Mom, what are you doing? Are you sleeping? Well, my eyes are closed and I was probably breathing pretty heavily, but I hear everything. Like I will be in a dead sleep. If there is like, if someone steps on a leaf outside, I hear it. I can hear it. And then when I'm up, like,
oh my gosh.
And then like Hector the one time it was like walking around. And everyone calls him the creeper because he walks around and makes sure all the lights are out, all the candles are blown out, all the stuff. And then if he hears something, he'll stand and he'll like wait because he thinks he hears something. So he'll stand. So the one day I woke up and I could feel someone staring at me and his shadow is in the doorway. looking like Michael Myers. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I thought I heard something. Can you not stare at me? Like, and he like, I'm very light sleeper. I can hear everything. It drives me nuts.
Oh my god.
And then I can't go back to sleep.
It depends. If I'm really tired, I can usually, stay asleep, but I'm the same way. I can be very sensitive. And of course, if you have dogs, then you're constantly disrupted because our dogs will, hear something like you see like a National Geographic episode where the leopard has, spotted its prey like 5 miles away. Like our dog Gus has this incredible hearing. So he can hear the car pulling onto the driveway before we hear it. And so it's so funny that he's like notifying us when Thomas is home.
I feel like I'm Gus.
Can hear it.
I feel like I'm Gus because I think I can hear it. And I think it is mom mode because it's like,
yeah, you never get, I told my stepdaughter that with her baby Wrigley, my grandson, I said, you will never recover from that sensitive sleep where you hear or think the baby is crying. I mean, it's like after we go through that.
You know what it is? No, what really shakes you is when you hear at the foot of your bed, Mom, I don't feel well. And you know that, and then the throw up is coming. The vomit is like, you know what I mean? Like that's where you learn to jump very quickly. Or it's kind of like when you hear the dog and the dog is making that sound and you like that, and you know it's coming. Sound. You know it's hearing but my husband is like the heaviest. He has slept through a tornado before. When we were in Texas, there was an EF5 tornado that ripped through like 2 streets over. He was sleeping. And I couldn't get a hold of him. And I'm like, oh, he's dead. He's dead. Like he got ripped up in the tornado. No, he was sleeping. He won't hear anything. Like I thought he was dead. Like he sleeps.
Oh my God.
My clock will wake me up. I don't need an alarm really anymore because I will wake up naturally. I wake up every day, probably around 5:15. He has to be woken up.
Oh gosh.
And if it's the weekend, I'll go in the bedroom and I'll be like, it's almost 11. You want to wait? I mean, it is, it's his whole family's like this. His whole family, they could sleep. They could sleep and I like, first of all, and I let him sleep on the weekends. You know what I mean? Like you got a lot going on. I don't care. I don't need you to like, if I need him, go ahead and sleep in.
Now, are you quiet while he's sleeping? Do you tiptoe around?
I don't tiptoe. I'm very light footed. He is heavy footed. Like, I'm like, I can hear you walking. Like, why do you walk so heavy? He's like, what do you want me to do? Levitate?
I'm a heavy walker too.
I cannot. Oh my God. The heavy walking. I don't know what's worse to me, heavy walking or chewing. Because the other night we were eating dinner and I go, do you know, like in perimenopause, I think your ears become like your sound, you can hear things so much. And so he's like, what? And I said, the way you chew, like I could probably stab you with a spoon. I could hear it. Like I could hear like if you're going through perimenopause, like it will aggravate you. And I just sit there and I'm just like literally staring at him when I'm eating. And I'm like,
my sister is the same way. She also hated when my dad used to shake the ice in the glass.
Oh yeah.
That was a big one that would set her off. So if the spoon touched the bowl,
same,
or clanked, or my dad shook the ice, that would my sister many times would leave the dinner table like in tears, like running away because she was so upset.
No, it's a very real thing. I sympathize with her. It's a very, very real thing. I just don't like I can't.
Okay, so let's talk about what is everybody doing for their summer, plan? Because I think we talk about this all the time that, life it just flashes before our eyes. And I saw some meme or something where they were like, and I thought this was hilarious and you'll appreciate this. It said something like, I can't wait for, long weekends and barbecues and lake trips and all those things. Happen? And then I thought to myself, like, clearly you're independently wealthy or, someone is paying for everything, because you and I both know that those long weekends, they don't happen for a lot of people that are working full time unless you save up vacation and, and can take the time. But then if you use a lot of vacation in the summer, then, you're lean during the holidays. Yeah. So, I mean, isn't it tough when you're awful. Trying to balance that? So when people say they're going to have like all these long weekends, then I mean, hats off to them because they're either retired or they're not working full time.
I did. Yeah. My boss like I kind of watched from afar last year how she did it, and it was kind of brilliant with all. And I don't know how much PTO time she has, but we've got pretty good PTO time where we are. We are. But like I'm doing what she did last year. Like she took a lot of Fridays and or Mondays off rather than taking week because I'm so trained. I'm like, well, I'm going to take a week off here and then a week off here.
Right.
Rather than, but
spreading
actually,
it out.
The days here and there. So I'm doing that. Like I just took off this past Monday. And that was just like
graduation.
And then I'm like, I'm like, oh, it's
Memorial Day. The week is so short too. So then that makes it nice.
And I get off, we have a half days. Every Friday is a half day.
Yeah, that's really, and that's a huge luxury.
So it is nice. So then, and I would rather have off like the Monday. I would rather have off the day after something because then it gives you something to look forward to.
Monday can be your day to recover from the weekend.
Well, because you're already looking forward. Like Fridays are just good. Like I will never like Fridays to take off a Friday. I'm like, it's already a good
Friday is a day to be at work because if you have that schedule where you get the weekends off, then you know that you're always in a better mood on Friday. And it's so crazy how our bodies are just conditioned to just be able to think, okay, I can get through this day because then you have 2 days
and to
look forward to.
And I'm trying to do less. If anybody has a schedule out there of how they keep up with laundry and how they keep up, because I am tired of using my Sunday, it's like after church, get home. And then it's like, oh, got to do laundry. And it's like, it's making me not like Sunday. Right. And like everything.
If you feel like it's all chores.
We have 6 people in our home. There is a lot of laundry. And then this is what my kids do. It drives me bananas. Like I have a system. There are hampers in everyone's room. There's hampers.
So they need to just put the stuff in the hamper.
They do that. But this is what Gia does. Gia will if once it's in the laundry room, in the mud room, and then I have the baskets, if the clothes are in the basket, that indicates those have been washed, dried, and they're waiting to be folded. Okay. Homegirl, she just like cleans all the time.
Mixes them together.
She mixes them together. And so then I come in, I'm like, I don't know. And then I was folding something. She's like, that hasn't been washed yet. Well,
oh my gosh.
It was in the laundry basket.
That is so Charlotte, when she was here, it was the same where my husband would like wash something and put it in her room. And then it would appear back in the dirt within the dirty laundry. And then he would say, I know she didn't wear this. She just threw this off the bed and mixed it. So, I mean, we're all now don't tell Gia, but for college, I got her a monogrammed laundry bag. I thought that would be good because I think that would be the nudge, right?
I love them. We don't do enough monogramming.
She'll be doing it's actually I was going to do her initials, but then I did it's Gia and then a big B behind it. So
cool. Oh my gosh.
So I wanted to tell you that. So don't get her that.
I won't.
Because when Charlotte was gifted an embroidered or personalized laundry bag from our neighbor 2 houses down, I thought that is such a unique and creative gift. And then also one that's practical, right? Because they can put all their clothes in there when they move in to pack, to have another bag to pack it in. And then hopefully they'll get a taste of what you're talking about, which is the grind of keeping up with the laundry. Now, my daughter brought so many clothes to college and it's so hot there that they're all wearing short shorts and tank tops, that she said, "Oh, I could easily go 3 to 5 weeks before I need."
But then then they're at home, and it's like that's the never-ending story. It's laundry, and I cannot keep up, and I've tried to keep up.
It does never.
And end. If anyone's ever building a house, or if you're ever looking for a house, never do what we did. Our house, we had our house built in 2018, fairly new house. Mm-hmm. The mudroom is right off of the garage, okay? And it's just a normal space. It's combined with the laundry room. Never, ever, ever do it. It is the bane of my existence. I walk in and then I'm greeted by backpacks and everything.
So as soon as you walk in, then you feel chaos. The weight of, I've got to do all this laundry. So it's hitting you right in the face. It's hitting me right in the face. Yeah, and so I understand what you mean.
I am the clutter. The clutter gives me anxiety. So that's why I need everything off the counter. So if I am walking into my house and I'm hit with the clutter, I'm immediately on edge. And we've talked about this in the show. My parents' house is the reason that clutter gives me anxiety, because they are from the era of the 80s and the 90s. The longer burger baskets
hanging on the ceiling.
We had a basket tree and we had baskets here and everything. And like every nook of their house was decorated.
Tree.
It's still like they're still decorated. And so I'm like literally like every time I talk to my parents, like I'm planning a trip back home because we're purging. I'm like, we're gonna have to give me like 5 dumpsters.
It's not gonna work out until one of them is forced to move, which is sad.
It is every square inch of their house is decorated. And like I walk in, and I'm like I'm getting like I walk in their house, I'm like I'm surrounded by stuff. I mean, like in their lower level family room, it's the Notre Dame room. There is not one. Oh my gosh. There is not so one blank wall. Now, granted, it's nice. It's like nicely done, like, but it has like it's Sports Illustrated covers of like Notre Dame.
Shrine.
It's like all the, but there's like I don't think you see a speckle of drywall. I don't think you see one piece of wall. And I just get down there and I'm like. And my mom goes, well, don't you want personality in your house? I want personality. I don't want thrift store.
Oh my gosh. Shawley said, Amanda, my parents' house is the same exact way. And I tell them all the time, you have too much S. And someday we're going to have to deal with all this stuff we need to purge. LOL. This is so funny.
That's
did you see that comment that Katie made? Ugh, everything my husband does drives me crazy lately.
If you're going through perimenopause and they don't understand it, you don't understand it. Like the other day, I literally said to my husband, I go, I can hear you walking. And he's looking at me and he's like, what, do you want me to levitate? Like, what do you want me to do? Like, he can't walk, eat, or breathe. Like, he's like, and I'm just like, look, I just stare at him. I'm like, you don't understand what this is like. I get like a hot flash. It overtakes you.
So back to your parents. Are they open to letting you purge stuff? Because they're going to probably have a hard time letting go of all that stuff. I mean, that's the hard. Like there's so many memories and emotions attached to it. My dad, when my parents upsized it many years ago, but when I was well out of the house and I was in my 30s probably. My father was standing in front of the garage that, he had populated with all the things since 1969. That's how long they had lived there. And he was like catatonic in front of the garage because you are overcome.
My dad would be like,
we had, marks on the side to track our height. He had stuff probably from memorabilia and stuff that he had collected over the years. So there's not enough that we talk about the conversations about the generational differences and then how things play out, because my sister is not sentimental like my mom and I are when it comes to certain things. And so it is hard when you have a person, a daughter or a sibling or somebody in the case of my mom, where she was the one, my sister, who was there living in the same town. And she just wasn't attached to the stuff. And so it was way easier for her to just throw something in a dumpster, not recognizing that my mom was like attached to it.
Yeah, no, so I'm a sentimental person. I am not sentimental about a Longaberger basket.
But you even told me before that there's like nothing.
There's nothing in the house that
comes to mind that you want.
No,
and I think that your mom thinks that you're gonna want some of this stuff.
No, I don't want any. I don't want anything. The sentimental for me, it was my grandmother's house, and my grandmother when she passed away, I had her grandfather clock, her dishes, and there were these chairs, and I'll post a picture later, but these chairs that were in her sitting room that I would go in. So when I would get yelled at by my mom and my dad, I would go into my grandmother's, this guest room, and my grandmother would come in, and my late uncle, my favorite uncle, Uncle Kenny, would come in, and we would sit in these chairs. And they're from the 40s, but they're still well done. And they're now down.
That's neat.
In our lower level. And that's what I wanted. But like, it's just so much stuff. It's overwhelming. So I can't even, and some of it's just like, they'll be at a store and they're like, look what I got. And I'm like, dear Lord, why are you putting more stuff in that house? Like there's no, and then like my sister and my brother, when it comes to my mom, they're just like, oh, that's so nice. No, call her out. This is excessive.
So I just talked to a guy in Waterloo recently. He is a widow. He is in his probably early 80s. The wife, left him with, and he cherishes that she was a collector of this, thousands of dollars of Swarovski crystal. So picture the Swarovski
Oh yes, in the
basket,
in the case, yes, and the china cabinet.
Swarovski animal figurines, okay, all the things. So he said the hardest thing right now is knowing that he's not going to really be able to hold on to all of it.
Okay.
But none of the kids or grandkids want it. And so he is now faced with this overwhelming sense of, well, I don't want to just give this all away or donate it to a thrift store when you think of the value. And then at 80 something years old, you're probably not going to catalog and post everything on eBay or Facebook Marketplace. So, I mean,
don't post anything on Marketplace, especially if you're older,
right?
You'll get like
but
jumped.
I mean, it's sad, isn't it?
Because we're not collecting things anymore. Like there is nothing that I want to collect.
Hummels are still very much a popular thing for some people. And then those precious moments, some people collect those. And there are a lot of people, including Kris Jenner, who collect those, or the Daniel Radco, the ornaments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what you call it?
Well,
Radco?
My parents' house at Christmas is beautiful. It's lovely. It's like,
don't you want any of the Christmas
I
stuff?
do not, because I do like, so I used to decorate like my mom's house where it was like everything. It was like Christmas exploded. So you walk in and you knew and then like last year, like, and the anxiety is very real over clutter, like very real for me, like suffocating. So last year I did less. And even Hector said, he was like, it looks really good in here. And I'm like, yeah, it's not overwhelming. He goes, yeah, like, and God bless him, because he went along with it for so long. And he's like, he goes, anything that was like flat, you were throwing garland on. Like, I mean, there was like lit garland everywhere. It was so bad. It's just so bad. Like, and my parents, they're not like hoarders. I mean, it's not like one of these situations where it's very tastefully done. It's very tastefully done, and their house is beautiful. Mm-mm.
Okay, Jill Hoagland, if your husband's walking, etc., bothers you now, wait until you retire and you're together 24/7. Gotta love him. Now, Jill, I will weigh in on this. I am currently in that stage of life where I still work full time, and my husband has been retired now for about 2 years. And so it is at times challenging. One thing is challenging, and he would admit this. So he's very routine oriented. So like if he had every day, he has like a list of things he's going to do. And he's the guy who can't relax until everything is done. So like he has to do all the interior and all the exterior chores before he can like relax.
Yeah.
So when I many times am fortunate that I can come home to have lunch with him, one thing that is funny that he'll do, and I don't begrudge him because I know how he's wired, right? We understand that our husbands are different creatures. So I will come home to like have lunch, and then I will want him to like stop what he's doing and just sit down with me and just talk or watch a show. And we usually we both watch mindless TV. He will be like in the kitchen, like putting dishes in the dishwasher or emptying the dishwasher.
Yes. Well, you're stepping into his schedule.
Yeah. So then I want to say to him, like, when you don't relax, when I'm trying to relax, then I'm not as relaxed for that 1 hour.
Yeah.
Because he's like doing all the things. But what is good, and this is like a weird thing, and I never knew this about myself until you had brought this up. You brought up in a blog or a post one time that you are overwhelmed by just like the sight of laundry that hasn't been folded, and like this sense of like it's clean but it needs to be folded. What's weird is, and I didn't know this about myself, a cathartic thing that I enjoy, and I think my mom is the same way, and I'm genetically predisposed. I enjoy folding laundry because I like to do it my way and have it organized my way. So I have said many, many times to my husband when he's great about doing chores, and I will say to him after he folds stuff and then I have to refold all the towels, I'm like, honey, I like to fold laundry. So just wash everything and then I'll fold it. So, I mean, it's weird. I enjoy it, but I mean, that's what, I hate it, but it's hard.
Folding laundry is like wrapping presents, whole cousin.
Yeah. And I love wrapping presents too. My mom does too. Like I would have enjoyed working at Von Maur.
I was just going to say, you could have been like in Von Maur.
Yeah. So what's funny is I even had some training when I worked at Yonkers from some of the gift wrap ladies, those old school ladies. And my mom is hilarious because she is so, when we get older, she just tells it like it is. The last time we were at Von Maur and she had something wrapped and she said, that woman needs some better training on how to wrap gifts. So then I said, the first giveaway is when you walk to the customer service, if they're not, 60 or older, good luck.
Yeah, they're not
because
gonna know how
these
to wrap.
young chicks
They
aren't
use it.
wrapping.
They using gift wrap. The younger kids are using gift wrap. Well, it is 7:59
Oh,
already. I
gosh.
can't even believe it. Thank you so much for joining us. The 4-letter word of the day is calm. Find something that you can like
That's very
bring you
good.
calm when you hear someone chewing loudly or you walk into your parents' over-decorated house. I like to read and I like to do some breathing techniques. It will keep you from.
Oh my gosh! What did
snapping.
you say? You don't you don't want
a longer. I don't want a longer burger basket. God Almighty, the longer burger baskets, and they're so expensive.
This is a great verse for your week. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20. Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. That is such a great verse to end on. And here's why. If right now you know that there is someone in your circle who is just feeding you bad information, bad advice, or just being the village idiot, don't hang your hat on that person as your end all be all. Find some other, wisdom elsewhere, because a companion of fools suffers harm.
Or in the words of my late grandma Grace, hang out with trash long enough, you start to smell like trash, and I smell trash.
Have a great week. Stay warm. We will see you right back here on Friday morning.
Thank you for watching the group chat. The show is brought to you by the empowering staff at Urology Center of Iowa, Tenoyer Gardens, Azalea Lane Boutique, and Splendor the Medical Spa.